Ifa in their lineage. But because of what happened too, they could not profess it.
Yes.
They went to school of theology as Christians. They qualified as Christian priests. The church was functioning as a temple of the Christian until Olu Oshiga slept and saw vision that he saw Orunmila and said, "Your heart is my temple, and that place you go every Sunday is my house. You have to preach in my name. I am your father. If not, I will take you away." Then he called a family meeting and they told him, "Yes, your grandfather was Babalawo. Your father was Babalawo. Your fathers were Babalawo." He went back to his church, told his congregation, "This is a temple of Orunmila. If you like, stay. If you don't like, go. And from today, we shall be praying in the name of Orunmila. We shall still be wearing our sutana, our church thing. The whole thing will be there. The setup will be there. But when we want to teach, we shall not refer to the Bible. We have to refer to Ifa." How do we do it? We are going to look for Babalawo. If we want to teach truthfulness, we are going to look for Babalawo to teach us which Ifa teaches truthfulness. And then we'll go on pulpit, we'll get the Odu, and then we'll now use our knowledge as ordained priests that know the art of preaching. And then do the fermentation. That's all we need. It rocked the place.
Yes.
But after some time, it was settling down. Until he met my Oluo and told my Oluo his predicament. If my Oluo could help him. And you know, Christians used to go out for public preaching.
Yes.
So when they go out for public preaching and they chant Ifa that Mauluo taught them, Babalawos around wanted to attack them. They thought they were using Ifa just to make fun. Because how can you be in Christian uniform and be saying Iriwoya? So they will run. When Babalawo say, "We are coming, you dead today," they will run to Mauluo. The Mauluo said, "You know what? I volunteer myself. I'll be a member of your temple, and I will go out with you for your public preaching." So they now appointed my Oluo as Otun Oluo and the Babalawo of the temple, who will be teaching them. Then they were now hiring priests to preach in the temple, but those priests must first of all go for something like audition 2 days before the service day to go and learn the Ifa they will use in the temple. And so they registered the church, but in the name of Ifa. But they needed an association that can now bring the temple up. And so that's how an association called Association of African Medicinal, Therapeutic, and Occultism came out.
I see.
And they gave them the certificate in 1958. Because that one was formalized, they could now register the temple the following year as Indigenous Faith of Africa. Ijo Orunmila Ato.
Yes.
Ijo, that is congregation. Orunmila Ato. Ato means like setting, something that sets well. Like when you say, "I am a bone setter," which means Ato Egun, I can set the bones to be right. That is, if there's a broken bone and The bone setter is the one that reorganizes it so that it can be symmetric, can be healed. So they use atto, that something that has broken, the fetus has broken in pieces. Who are the people who reorganize the bones to set well? That's why they use the atto. By the time the man knew he will go, he will pass, he called my Oluwo. If I go, this temple becomes yours. You have to be the Oluwo. You have to continue as the Babalawo. So the founder now told my Oluwo, take the bag of the treasury because I trust you and build it up for me. So he was the Otun Oluwo of the temple. He was the Babalawo of the temple. He was the Akapo, that is the treasurer of the temple, holding three titles of the temple at the same time when the founder was even living. So when the founder passed, he now held the position of Oluwo, Babalawo, and the Akapo, the treasurer. So he was having three positions, and that was the time I came in. He now told me that what Babalawo will do and what Osha people do is that on every 17 days, they have something called Itadogun. When all of the Osha people, whether you are Obatala, Shango, Ogun, you need to come together in the house of Araba, and there'll be a divination. What Ifa tells you, that's what you are going to use for the next 17 days. Whether you are Shango, or Shun, or Ya. So why don't we do that, sir? I said, I cannot. That is not how the founder of this temple made it.
I see.
May you live long to start your own. And I cannot do it with you because I swore to help you. But when you do your own, I will give you blessing. I am the Ajaguna of that temple till today. I know what contribution I made for that temple. My office as a surveyor in the Lagos State government helped a lot to protect the building. I have seen a member of that temple because I cannot say no, because that's where I picked the idea of where there can be, that Ifa religion can be processed into organized temple.
Yes.
Through the idea of late Oshiga and Adeshilu, who were the founders of the indigenous faith of Africa. In 1986, and I said, my Oluwo, I am ready to now do what you pray for me to do. And that's when I started Hataf International. Ajo Aparuboye Agbaye.
That brings me to want to discuss Hataf, Healing and Teaching Temple of the African Faith. And I wanted to talk about how it began, how it was inspired by your Oluwo, and how it expanded to be in the United States, in Mexico, in London, and I think it's unique in that. So I wanted you to talk a bit about how it began and what could be the future for it.
We believe that the whole world started in Africa, and in fact, Ile-Ife. But because Ife dispersed 16 times before it settled on the 16th occasion, all of the people in the diaspora were part of that dissolution of the first to the 16th time.
It's going out.
Just going out, settling in the diaspora. Until the 17th time, it stayed. And they were coming back, in and out and out and in. So, the belief that we have in God that is through the Ifa lineage, through the Orisha practices,